making the invisible visible, Black women 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
I am Diedre Nyota Dawkins. My traditional name, because I am an Akan priest, is Adjunct, and I'm also part of a women's egbe called Egbe Oya, and my name there is Zenzele. So I have adopted many names, but in all actuality, I am a person that likes to heal the soul and the spirit through dance, and I primarily work with children, with young people. I feel like they are our future, they are our hope, and I like to pour into them in hopes that they will pour back into their own communities and their own families, and help us to be better people, well-rounded people in general. Oh, wow. So what I do is my day starts probably at a middle and high school in West Baltimore, where I have children that are primarily from underserved communities. And I can be a social worker, I can be mom, and then I get to be the dance instructor. And I try to impress upon my students that every day that we have in the studio is a gift, and they can choose to leave their things outside of the threshold, outside of the dance studio, so that they can have this gift for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Or they can bring it all into the dance studio onto the floor and, cause chaos and whatever. But I try to impress upon them to leave their troubles at the door, to come inside and to express and enjoy and experience and just take themselves to places that they didn't think they could go with their bodies, with their minds, and with their spirits. I then leave my middle and high school and I travel to the Peabody Conservatory, where I am an associate professor of dance. I teach Lester Horton technique, and I teach dance of the African diaspora, and I teach dance pedagogy for the urban environment. So just really preparing our next generation of teachers for what they are about to embark upon inside of our communities across the United States, because this underserved community exists everywhere. And dance is a great tool to be able to reach people where they are and take them out of that sense of poverty and that sense of oppression. So through dance, I am able to pull things out of my students that they didn't think were even there. Gosh, so many things. I think traveling to Cuba with Ronald K. Brown and Evidence is something that really opened up something inside of me. We traveled with the late Dr. Sherelle Berryman Johnson from Howard University. And she's in my ear the whole time. You need to go to grad school. You need to do this. You need to build that. You need to work. She's just planting all these seeds. And mind you, this is like early 2000s that this is happening. But learning the dances, feeling that culture, feeling the connection to spirit, then coming back to the States and creating Ron Brown's works, primarily Walking Out the Dark. That's the piece that really changed my life. And looking back now at the subject matter that we dealt with in that piece, I just see it all coming to life. It either has already or is now. The conversations, it's really about conversations and relationships that you have with people in your life, whether it be your brother. He was my brother in the piece. Whether it be your husband, whether it be anybody in your community, the tension that comes from relationships, but then the ultimate love that comes out of them in the end. Um, that's what that piece taught me about. It taught me about dealing with people, dealing with the good, the bad, and the ugly, and finding a way to come to some sort of peace at the end of it. And all through the culture, it was the way that I was introduced to Orisha. It was a way that I went deeper into the Akan tradition. And it was a way that I dealt with my own family, my own people inside of my circle, forgiveness, giving people grace. All of those things are what that piece opened up for me and taught me. And I have to thank Ron Brown for that. But I also have to thank Kevin Iega Jeff, who was my mentor since I was 7 years old. Still, still is to this day. Just the things that he's instilled in me about being an artist, being a responsible artist, making works that move people, and creating works that surround that, are all things that continue to shape me. That is the question of the hour. And I can't say that I have done such a great job of self-care. I think my daughters, especially my oldest, she can see the stress on me and in me, and will do something like make breakfast, make dinner, carry it up to my room, insist that I don't leave the house. Mommy, just stay in the bed. It's okay. Don't feel guilty for just sitting here because you do so much for us and for everybody. And, it's true. So I think at this time in my life, I'm listening to one of my other mentors, Nasha Thomas, who always finds time to vacation. Just trying to incorporate that into my repertoire because I do work very hard. So I'm learning. I'm learning how to rest. I'm learning how to pause. I'm learning how to take better care of myself.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.